And now, here's the veteran voice of the legal fix, Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from the Lone Star State in Montgomery County, Texas, for a brand new episode of The Legal Fix, a new age radio show presented by the Tough Law Firm, the toughest law firm in town, with the toughest lawyers around, answering your toughest legal questions. Introducing first, hosting out of the red corner, the big deal, Bruce Wilson. Tough, joined by Boy Wonder, Brandon Scott Riley, and super lawyer, G.I. Jerome, the Golden Boy, Jeremy Lee Hall.
Hey, thank you, Bruce Buffer. I'm the big deal, Bruce Tough. I'm here with, well, absent Boy Wonder, but I got the Golden Boy, Jeremy Hall.
Yes,
so we're going to do this just the two of us, right, Jeremy?
Yes, sir.
All right. We've got a lot to talk about. So we are going to talk about homeowners associations, drones, satellite dishes, solar panels, LIV Golf. That's going to be a big one. That's a big thing in the news. And so we've got a little bit of a legal analysis for you on that. Talk a little bit about the raid on Mar-a-Lago at Trump's palace.
Unprecedented.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I mean, the information we're getting is just limited, but we'll fly with what we got. I was told that Jeremy and Brandon are going to put me on the hot seat for the second or third time, I think. I'm going to get a new hot seat update. So in the second segment, I'm going to be doing the hot seat. And then the big... we have not talked about this, but our law firm retreat, the Tough Law Firm, goes to summer school. So not only do we have fun, but we get educated. There's a summer school, and it's in Galveston, Texas. We take a vote, and I said, do you guys want to go to the state bar convention, or do you want to go to Galveston, or you want to go to San Antonio? And they said, no, we love this Galveston one because they bring their kids and they do the water parks. Well, first we said
all of them, right? Because we want to take all the CLEs.
Oh, yeah, all the CLEs, of course.
We said, can we do them all? And you said, let's just pick one.
Yeah, but the College of the State Bar is the one that puts on the summer school, which is we're all members of. And you have to have additional hours to join the College of the State Bar. But there's a picture of it. It's a great event, a great venue, and the attorney immunity. I love that. There's the Golden Boy right there, and there's the Eraser.
So that's a Bruce Tough photo right there.
Yeah,
Bruce
that
Tough
was a good
special.
one, right?
And then this is our future, right?
Yeah,
we're going to be presenting.
Yeah, we're
maybe
presenters. Last
year.
time they want us to do the constitutional amendment, and we were going to do the First Amendment, but then, look at matching swimsuits.
We did stuff like that.
That is so cool. Matching swimsuits. Yeah.
This type of behavior got us canceled.
We showed up, yeah. Then we said, can we dress like this and we'll do the First Amendment, and we'll do an update on it. And they said, no, thank you.
Yeah.
But I got a picture of Jerome talking to the family law section chief,
there it is.
And their group. Oh yeah,
president-elect of the state bar.
Oh, the president-elect of the state bar, and Jerome is showing off his swim shorts. Look at him.
This is the last day, folks at home. This is the goof off day.
That is so. We had so much fun. Matching shorts last day. Oh, there they are.
There she is.
Okay, where is she? Middle one, left.
Far left.
Far left.
Yes.
Okay. And she was a presenter, too, right?
She was. She presented right after that photo.
And I want you to say, is a lot of times when you go to these CLEs, you're bored to tears, and then, of course, you just need to get your continuing legal education hours. But we went through all of... There he is.
Hitting the
Golden
Jumpman.
Boy. He's doing the spike with the splits. Yeah.
The Jordan symbol.
That was on the
Jumpman.
stage. That was on the stage where they were presenting the program. Outstanding.
Yes.
So really, what was the highlight for you for the summer school?
I would have to say it was a split between, well, the summer school part was amazing. All the presenters were amazing. My favorite presenter, to keep it on the school part, was the gentleman who presented on cryptocurrency and blockchain.
Oh, yeah.
Fascinating.
Right.
Light years ahead of the average legal practitioner in that area. I cornered him afterwards and chased him down, talked to him, invited him on the show.
Oh, yeah.
He'd love to come share some stuff with us.
Yeah, he was because he had a history of, actually he was doing a comparison of how the world worked on currencies, and it was amazing. But the depth of knowledge and we've got to have him on. We should try to do that.
Guy.
If we can get him here, that would be awesome.
Yeah. Okay, back to you. What was your favorite?
My favorite was the family dinner. At
okay.
Stearns at the top, and had all the families of all the attorneys, and everybody was there, and I really enjoyed it. But I enjoyed all the CLE classes. I went to all of them, and I always learned something. Sometimes but here's the thing that is bizarre about it. I go, every one of those topics that they discussed, we had a case that was relevant to one of those, to one of the topics. That's the scary part about it. So the whole Tough Lerm had, or we had handled one of the topics, including the appellate section and the new case law and the Supreme Court update with the cases. So it's so we're cutting edge, baby.
Taking notes directly from the seminar into our case notes for things to do when we get home, or right there from our laptops. They got Wi-Fi hooked up. It's a great environment.
Yeah,
and we appreciate you giving us summer school scholarships.
Yeah, you're welcome. Year. You're welcome for my superstars.
Yes, sir.
The 5 superstars in the office. Hey, give me a little bit before we take a break and go into the second segment. Are you really going to put me on the hot seat?
I guess it'll be a one-on-one. It'll be a pretty even matchup.
I'll do that.
Okay,
I can handle
let's go.
it. I'm ready to roll on that. Tell me a little bit about the hot topics we're going to be talking about today.
Okay, so LIV Golf or Die Tryin. Everyone's heard about LIV Golf.
Yes.
So they are paying players billions. They offer Tiger Woods 700 to 800 million. So you can assume altogether they're paying the players billions to come from the U.S., defect in essence, and play golf overseas. This is not the first sports league to do this, but
wait a minute. I'm going to reprocess it. $800 million for Tigger. What did Mickelson? Mickelson got 300 million or 150. It was
I
some
don't
big.
know how much.
I think
Enough to make people hate him.
Well, it was like 300 million. I mean, I was just thinking, and he's kind of he just goes, "Hey, man, I just made all the money I made in my whole career just with a signing and enter into this. Why not?"
Right. It's easy for the keyboard warriors to turn down 300 million that was never offered to them. Right. But if you're offered 300 million,
oh man,
whether you say it's blood money or Saudi Arabia, so the reason people are criticizing it, Saudi Arabia has a checkered past with their human rights history, their violations. Jamal, say his last name for me? Khashoggi.
Yeah.
They chopped him up. He was a journalist. They brought him to the embassy and murdered him, basically, or allegedly. That's how the story goes. All kinds of other things in Saudi Arabia. Now they're buying these professional golfers. Almost got Tiger, got Phil, got Ernie Els, I think.
Yes.
And who's the guy that's head of it? Greg Norman?
Greg Norman,
the Shark.
The Shark. Yeah,
oh my goodness!
He's the director of golf.
Now everybody wants to say, "Oh, Saudi UFC's having big events over there. They have Fight Island." So now everybody's saying, "Oh, it's a tourist destination. Maybe we can forget about some of the other stuff." But people that want to make that right are saying these players shouldn't be taking this money. This is shameful. It's basically blood money that they're playing with over there.
What's the analogy you're using? You called it sports something.
Sports washing.
Sports
washing. Yes.
When you told me that before the show, I thought that was very cool. Did you make that up yourself? Or is that
no, I can't take credit for that one. I got off on a LIV Golf rabbit trail sometime between last night and this morning. I was reading articles and I happened upon that term.
Sports washing.
It's a great term for Saudi Arabia, the pay to play, bringing all these golfers over. But the PGA Tour has cut off the players who go play at LIV, so you can't play in the U.S. anymore, at least not on the PGA Tour.
How can they do that?
And
because they own you, right?
Exactly.
They own you. You're under a contract that if you qualify and you're a PGA player, then you have to abide by our contractual rules.
Exactly.
Right? So
exactly.
I
just like you could not allow me to practice law for someone else while I'm working. And why would you?
You're in a tough law firm.
Exactly.
You're under my umbrella, my contract. So these guys have said, okay, not only do we want to do PGA, I just want to go do so. So they have a restriction in where they can play, obviously under the contract, right?
Well, I don't know if they do, but I know that after LIV came about, the PGA Tour said, and I don't think they did because they just made a call in July, I believe, saying you are not allowed to play in the PGA Tour effective right meow. So I think they reacted to LIV. So the players have sued the PGA Tour. They asked for a temporary injunction to allow them to play in the PGA Tour playoffs. And the judge said, nish nish, you're not allowed to. You're not allowed to go take hundreds of millions overseas and then make a claim that the PGA Tour is hurting your income because they're not going to allow you to play in the playoffs.
I get it.
You got paid buku bucks to play in Saudi. You can't say this is hurting you. Economically, it's not hurting you. Whether it's anti-competitive or not will be decided at final trial. But temporary injunction, victory for the PGA.
Okay, good. All right, so we're going to take a break. We're going to come back. I'm going to be on the hot seat. It's going to be mano y mano.
Mano y
Mano y mano. I'm Bruce Tuff, principal of the Tuff Law Firm. We are a full-service law firm serving the greater Woodlands area and the greater Houston area. Contact us at 281-681-0808. We're tough for you.
One final time, here's the veteran voice of the Legal Fix, Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. Attorneys are licensed by the State Bar of Texas. Our three lawyers cross-examining the witness are Bruce Huff, Brandon Riley, and Jeremy Hall. And when the action begins, the witness on the hot seat will answer as many questions with the fewest words as fast as they can. The hot seat is sponsored by The Legal Fix, a new age radio show brought to you by the Tuff Law Firm. We're tough for you. And now, for those listening on the radio and Legal Fix fans watching around the world, this is the moment you've all been waiting for. Live from the Legal Fix studios in the Woodlands, Texas, it's time! One lightning round for the undisputed Legal Fix Hot Seat Championship of the World!
Hey, we just had Boy Wonder on the hotline. He's still getting prepared for his hearing tomorrow, but he said he's going to make it in the third segment, and he wants to do the hot seat for me. So we're going to give him a break and see if he can
Bruce.
hustle over. Well, that's okay.
It's not time.
I'll take 2-on-1. They feel like they have to double team me.
Yeah.
But we talked a little bit about LIV Golf, so we're going to go back to that. But I want to talk about homeowners associations because Jeremy is the president of his HOA. Is that right?
Maybe president in training. I act as the president when the president's not there, as far as chairing the meetings. But I'm the treasurer, so I crunch the numbers.
All right, so don't be president. Okay, it's just it's a thankless job. So
you know from experience,
I do.
Right?
I was the president of the Woodlands Community Association, the chairman of the Woodlands Community Service Corporation, president of the Woodlands Fire Department, chairman of the Woodlands Township. We were like a HOA on steroids, the largest HOA in the world, I would say, with the strictest covenants and restrictions. We kind of modeled the HOAs of the future, so everybody copies the Woodlands and their homeowners association rules, regulations, covenants, and restrictions. And Jeremy had an interesting issue that came up, which I think everybody would be interested about, drones. So he had drones, and I said, well, what about satellite dishes? What about solar panels? I mean, these are all things that HOAs have to deal with to maintain the aesthetics of your neighborhood, and you have these rules and regulations to improve your property values. That's the biggest enforcement tool you have to maintain property values. Otherwise, you'd have people with, cars jacked up on their front yard. You'd have, trash in the front, different kinds of
purple
trash
houses,
cans.
mismatched fences.
If you want to have that kind of stuff, move to the country because you see it. If you ever drive in the country, you'll see the double wide, and they just throw the trash out in the front yard. But drones, HOA, satellite dish, solar panels. What's going on with drones? You allow those or not? That's an issue for you guys.
You are
right?
allowed them. Yeah, drone law is kind of like the wild, wild west right now. Drones are new. It's a new-ish technology, and Texas came out with some of the most restrictive drone regulations a few years ago, and those were repealed recently, I think in the last legislative session, and now the law centers around whether you're taking photos or videos, capturing any media, the image or identity of someone on their private property, and that's a niche.
Oh, yeah.
But then you have to show that, and so that's one piece of evidence that can be presented in court is the photos or videos from that device. You have to turn those over in discovery. That's one of the limited carve-outs. But if you can't prove the thing has a camera, or you can't find the photos, or it's a hard deal to hold a drone owner accountable for their behavior. And there's a reasonable expectation of privacy over your property, right? But
Right.
how high up does that go? It's kind of it's not a specifically defined term, but the standard for drones is 400 feet. Above 400 feet, I believe, is controlled airspace. And I'm not an airspace expert, but below 400 feet is not controlled airspace, and that's where you're allowed to fly it around if you're near government buildings, or I don't think you're allowed to fly around those at all. But basically in neighborhoods, you have to keep it above 400 feet if there's some kind of restriction on having a drone over airspace. So government buildings, water plants, sports stadiums, things like that, you can't fly over those things.
Right.
Private residences, it's still a coin flip. If I can show that you were photographing my wife or daughter, then I can probably get you. But if I can't show that, let's say you were just buzzing the tower, which is what the drone in our neighborhood is doing. It's flying real low around houses, and our dog goes crazy. Our daughter starts crying. We have to go inside, and it's a nightly thing. Almost nightly, and other people are starting to complain about it. It's blown up on social media, and so that's what caused me to take a look at it. It's not just affecting my family, it's affecting others. We've identified where the person lives, and we're preparing a letter to send to them that basically says cut it out.
Do you have, what authority do you have, though? What gives you the authority under the covenants to impose your HOA?
Hopefully the drone owner isn't watching this. It's a tightrope as far as the deed restrictions, because we don't have the Bruce Tuff deed restrictions.
right.
And by the way, I know it's a thankless job, but that's how you got to be the big deal.
Yes,
so
that's
I want to
right.
be like
That's
a
right.
little big deal.
Okay, well,
and follow in your footsteps.
and you're giving back to your community, and you're helping out, which everyone should do, and giving back in some way to your community. That's just part of service, and I believe everybody should do that.
Yes, sir.
So thank you for your service.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate, and thank you for your service. I mean, decades worth of service. And just so you guys know at home, whenever I have an HOA question, I go right next
Right
door
here.
and ask
Yeah,
the big deal
I got
Bruce
it.
Tuff.
Yeah. So the way I look at it is you have privacy and an expectation of privacy, but you have GIS mapping, and your whole house is mapped anyways. I mean, in the Montgomery County, we're mapping the whole every neighborhood, every house, so you've got a satellite that's going down and you get a shot in time of your property. So there's a precedent for allowing this type of invasion through different vehicles. So
If there is some kind of crazy, I don't want to say X-rated, but let's just say something really bad that nobody needs to see going on, and the GIS mapping, Mark Keogh takes a picture of it
Right.
and puts it out on the public website, what responsibility do they have to go in and scrub that?
I don't know.
That could be really bad, because
I know.
I mean, I'm sure they're going to capture something at some point
Yeah.
that they can't
What if you're in the
post.
back? What if you're out at the pool sunbathing?
Yeah.
Like a la natural.
Al
Speaking of,
natural.
yeah.
Didn't you have that recently, where you were out sunbathing, or was that in Europe when you were wearing your mankini that people
was
were
at
taking
St. Martin.
pictures of
That
you?
was on Orient
Okay.
Bay in St. Martin. It's
Okay.
a French beach, and they adopted all the French customs there. So yeah.
You were welcoming
Yeah,
it. though.
yeah.
You're like, get one with
I'm
me.
I'm all in. Hey, here I am. If you're going to get blinded, but that's it. It's good. Well,
Let me ask you this real
Yeah.
quick about drones before we move on, Bruce. If you had a drone, what would you use it for?
I don't know. I'm not good with drones and cars that you have remote control working on it. I had a car and it went into the sewer and I couldn't get it back. I had to climb in the manhole to get it down. And drone. It would have to be if I had land or a ranch and I wanted to check out the cows and I wanted to check out the horses, or I wanted to check out, what the conditions were in a certain area and I didn't want to drive to it. I mean, that's the practical use that I would see for it, but otherwise you'd just be snooping. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm just kind of, hey, what's going on in the neighborhood? Or you're just curious, let me see what it looks like as high up as I can and I'll check out everything. Or what's the, but if you're looking for hazards or looking for something that happened, if you use it as a tool, I mean, we use it as a commercial tool all the time for photographing property and documenting property. Have a virtual tour through the house and the yard and the backyard and the neighbor's yard. Driving down the neighborhood, you could say, hey, come on into the subdivision. Go down Sunny Slope. Take a right turn on Rolling Stone Place, and there's the Tough home. You know, that's I could see that as an application.
Maybe a day. Let's give you a week for that project.
Yeah.
And then it's over.
Yeah, then I'm never going to use it again.
Yeah, or maybe you're on to the next project.
That's right.
But if you start doing that every night, I think maybe surveillance turns into snooping, turns into creeping.
Yeah,
and that's the conclusion I've come to, because what else are you doing flying it around the neighborhood every night?
Yeah, it's creepy. It's creeper. So
you're creeping on
here's a couple of cutting-edge areas that homeowners have had to adapt to. Satellite dishes. So when we first started putting satellite dishes up, FCC regulations allowed it, and it trumped the homeowners' covenants and restrictions, saying no satellite dishes, or restricting them to your backyard and not attached to the house. Can't be on top of the roof. Well, that all got trumped by the FCC. So that's a cutting-edge new technology that the HOAs have to adapt to. And
sounds like the next thing you're about to highlight for us.
Right. So we had solar panels. We had a solar panel issue where solar panels, no one knew about them, so you didn't expect them to be on residential property. They're out of conformity with the neighborhood, and then you attach them, and then everybody in the neighborhood is eyeballing these, big, ugly solar panels on their house, and guess what? You can't restrict them.
Can't say no.
You can't say no, but you can say no to the placement if there's a more effective, least intrusive placement, and then that's a whole battle, because the homeowner is going to say, hey, I want my solar panels in the front of my house so everybody can see I've got solar panels and I'm being the green guy in the neighborhood, and maybe it's on the east side, not the west side. Of course, the west side is going to be the most effective. It's going to get the most sun, and we actually had a case like that. We had a case where a guy decided he has all these, it's the whole neighborhood, all of the architecture is exactly the same, and they had the Spanish tile roofs, and he decides he wants to just drop a bunch of solar panels on top of it at the entryway. So you drive in and here's these ugly solar panels. And
on a clay roof?
On a clay roof. And the least intrusive one would be on the side or the back. Of course, he didn't want that. He wanted to show this off, and he was marketing his solar panels. But we had a big case over it. Actually, they didn't comply with the rules to get them initially approved, so we had to go back and had a big hearing. We won the TRO hearing. We actually had a temporary injunction hearing we won, and then we settled the case because compensation was paid by the HOA, who actually got sued because they allowed these in the beginning. So, I mean, it's all cutting-edge stuff. But we handled one of those cases. It's kind of interesting. No drone case yet.
Tough law.
Yeah.
Not as HOA president.
No, tough law firm did it. Yes,
okay. Well, that's the way to do it.
Yes, we did.
Because if you're on the HOA side, you need a Bruce Tuff or a Jeremy Hall, preferably a Bruce Tuff, to fight that battle for you. You've got a bunch of volunteers on the HOA. They're unpaid. They don't know about law. Most of them don't, unless it's me or you. They don't know about technology law, probably not. And then you've got to go figure out the side of the house with the solar panels and go to court and fight it. Most HOAs will just let the homeowners do what they want.
Right.
At least most HOAs on the non-Woodland side. The Woodlands is kind of beefed up, but I know ours is, we struggle to get people on the HOA, much less the Architectural Review Committee or whoever decides that.
It's really hard. It's hard because you're giving up of your time away from your family. You're trying to do something that is good for the community, and you're using your best judgment. You're not trained in all of this, so it always ends up upsetting someone, and then that person who gets upset takes it personally. And here you are saying, here, I'm trying to do the better good for the community and volunteer my time and do it. And people that do this, I really have to thank them and admire them, because I've served with some really great people in the Woodlands, and they're wonderful. They're true in their heart, just trying to give back to the community and do the right thing. So it all worked out really, really well. Hey,
knock,
here. Come on in. All right, we're going to put me on the hot seat. We only have.
Here he is. We have barely enough time for the hot seat.
All right, ready.
Oh my
I'm ready.
goodness. Okay, Bruce, I'm going to swear you in.
I'm ready. Go.
Bruce, do you Yeah, Brandon's not ready. Brandon
Okay.
needs to get his headphones on
Yeah.
and his microphone
Okay,
up.
he's ready.
Carlos, have you got him on the camera?
He's ready.
Oh, he's got it.
He's
Okay.
ready.
State your full name for the record.
Bruce Colson
Do
Tough.
you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and your version of the truth? Answer the most questions with the fewest words as fast as you can. So I hope you got it.
I do.
Okay, he ready. How do you spell bruised tuft? Like a handful of grass. with a black eye.
BRUISEDTUFF.
Excellent. That's your alias,
Well
bruised tuft.
done. Are you built for tough?
Yes.
Have you ever done a tough mutter?
Yes.
What's your favorite nickname?
Big deal.
One superpower. What would you choose?
Flying.
Sun
Superman. Cancer.
Moon sign.
Moon.
Rising?
Venus or Taurus, I think. I don't. Diana,
What's the badges? What's
honey
hers?
badger,
You better know
Capricorn.
her
She
okay.
knows all
Good
this
job.
crap.
Good
Yeah.
job.
Do you have a prenup?
No.
What'd the badge say when you brought it up?
She said not over my dead body.
Which one of the tough spends the most time in the mirror?
Abby Tough.
How cool are you?
Very.
Who's cooler, 20-year-old Bruce or 60-year-old Bruce?
Oh man, they're both good.
Hey,
they're both good.
Your hair's
Yeah.
your hair's pretty cool.
Hey, I like it. You know, it's getting a little.
I'd
thin
give you
back
like a
here.
3.5 out of 10.
Yeah, it is.
that rounds up to like a 4 or a 5, so you're in good shape.
Yeah,
After a good cut, it's like a 4.5, 5. You know?
I'd round you
Carmela,
up to a
thank you.
solid 5.
Yeah, I always tell her, get it. I want
Coolest
to cut
hairstyle
thick
you've
and
ever
furl.
had. Coolest hairstyle you've ever had.
The coolest hairstyle? I had a long one. I had
Not
a
a-
shaggy
Like a
Beatles.
flow?
Like
Like
a
a
mullet?
hockey
I had a
flow?
Beatles cut when I was a cheerleader.
Like
at
a
U of
Patty
H.
Pimblett?
Yeah, I did. Oh, yeah.
Okay, that's
Okay.
nice.
Oh, yeah.
When can we expect your next foray into facial hair?
That'll be in November.
Will you feature a lip?
I'm going it, baby.
Will you feature a lip sweater only?
Just a
Oh
lip
yeah,
sweater.
no lip.
What about like a little thin, like
It's
a penciler?
you know, I look like a porn star wearing that. You know,
Yeah?
So I did.
Well,
yeah,
thin it
won't
out
do
a little
that.
bit. Go
If
with
I'm
just
a-
the penciler.
If I
So
end up in
thin?
Saudi Arabia or Iran or something, I'll
Then
grow
you need
the,
a thick
yeah,
guy.
I'll
You need a
grow it,
Magnum
yeah.
PI
Like so
stash.
thin you can't even see it.
But
Yeah,
yeah, like the Emperor's new mustache.
Oh, yeah,
where it's
I love
there,
it.
but no one can see it.
Yes.
Do you wear tidy whities to the gym?
No.
When's the last
It's
time you went
hanging,
to the
baby.
gym?
It's hanging. I was to the gym last week. I lift, baby.
Video,
Hey, I may
please.
not look. I
Video
may
or
look like
video,
a fat boy, but I'm.
please.
Huh?
Video or it didn't
Videos
happen.
beat
Do we have
signs.
video?
Yeah, I did it. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, we'll get a workout.
So you did go to the gym. When was the last time you said you went to the gym? Just
Hey,
There I am.
okay,
There
play
I
it.
am.
Okay,
I'm
what-
showing you. I'm
what is
pumping.
going on here?
Yeah, what's
I am-
happening here?
That is me doing
This is your
ab
workout?
crunches. I'm doing
Is
ab
this your
crunches.
workout?
Yeah, that's like about 180 pounds right
You
there.
must
ab
have like
crunches.
shredded abs. Then.
I do. I
Yeah,
have
let's see 'em.
No, they're
Show
fat.
us.
I'm like a big ass stomach that's got ripples in it. Okay.
When you're doing this machine, how is that possible? You're shredded.
I
Don't lie.
eat a lot.
Don't lie.
Okay,
Okay,
I
how
eat
tall
and
are
drink a lot. 6'2".
Do you look down on those of us
Proportional.
under 6 feet?
Sometimes. Never.
This
Not you
Halloween,
guys.
Will you go as John Kerry then?
Never.
Oh, you'd be a dead ringer. John
Never.
Cornyn. How about Cornyn?
No.
No?
I don't have white hair yet.
How about a Republican Joey Biden?
Oh,
can't
the
stand- I
Republican
can't
Joe
stand
Biden.
him.
The Republican Joe Biden.
I
When's the
cannot
last time
stand
you
him.
cried?
I cried 3 or 4 days ago, I think.
When's the last time you made
Some
somebody?
movie I was watching. They make fun of
Badge.
me. Yeah.
Right,
When's the last
Brandon,
time you
right
made
before
somebody
we
else
left.
cry?
When we left Brandon.
Yeah, me
Probably.
crying.
Probably.
I
I
saw y'all
don't make.
going
I
out.
can't make anybody.
If you had to
cry.
make a viral TikTok, what'd you do?
viral, I do a dance. I do the worm. I'd go like this. I do the worm
okay.
dance.
I don't think that's the
Okay.
worm, but I
Yeah.
like it.
Okay.
Sum up your life philosophy in a gesture or facial expression.
Do it. Do it.
He was
Just
ready
do
for
Okay,
that
Clint
one.
Eastwood.
Okay, how long
Okay,
does it
Clint
take you to get to
Eastwood.
work?
15 minutes on a good day. Probably about 20 average.
How many
Yeah.
cases have you tried?
Oh, 100 maybe.
What's your record? How many
100,
W's? How many
over
L's?
100.
100 to none?
I'm probably in the 80%.
Okay.
I had a,
Hey,
I had
that's
a,
good.
I had a
That's
couple of
good.
years where I got just blasted. I lost like 6 in a row.
Yeah, but you took those
Did it.
cases from someone else
Yeah,
and they were crappy. So it's
they
okay.
were bad.
What's the best kept secret about Tough Law?
We're brilliant, we're fearless, and I've got the eraser and the honey badger who are geniuses. And these guys right
Hey,
here,
that's
they're
nice.
they're fearless. We're
Okay,
fearless.
we
And
are.
we are like a secret weapon. by the
Anything
way.
other than a
We
lawyer
are
or
as-
judge, what would you
We
be?
are mean, lean, legal machine.
Bruce Tough version 2. Anything other than the lawyer or judge? What would you be?
Objection.
I would
unresponsive.
be cartoonist.
Isn't it true you were the second mayor of the Woodlands before you lost to the Real Housewives of Paris?
Yes. Yeah. The Real Housewives of Paris. I was the
Daddy,
second mayor of the Woodlands.
What's the meanest thing you've ever said at a public meeting?
Me and Steve Toth got into it. Yeah, me and
Google
him got
it.
to. I
What's
can't even
your
remember. You
favorite?
got to Google that because him and I got into it. And then Gordy Bunch goes, "Yeah, we set you up."
Township chairman
Yeah.
engages in shouting match.
Yes, that was me.
That's the
Yeah.
Google
It
search
What's the
term.
most nervous you've ever been before a public performance or event?
I used to get. I think when I was speaking before 800, 600 people at economic
EOC,
outlook,
yeah,
EOC
economic
event or
outlook, yeah,
something.
that's
But
a big
actually,
deal.
they did. I was speaking before the event. Nick Wolder was going to tee up the video, and I told him the whole time. I said, "Get that damn video teed up," and he screwed it up. And then I introduced my township, and said, "I'm working without a net."
Yeah.
Drew a laugh, did it well, covered.
You didn't throw him under the bus?
Yeah, no.
That's good. Okay, you're the top dog, second
Okay.
best public servant in the Woodlands.
Second best, Nelda Blair.
One thing people don't know about you that you want them to know.
That I'm a lover.
Biggest pet peeve.
Coughing. in the
Something
office.
people should do before they die that you recommend.
Go to the islands. Go to the
Something
island.
people
Hang out
should
on an
avoid at all costs.
island. Pickup truck drivers.
What's your favorite lawyer movie or show?
Oh man, I have all of them. What's? Oh, I don't know.
Objection, non-responsive.
Yeah.
What's your next pet?
Uh,
Species and name.
Dog.
Named.
Stevie.
Okay, do the
Stevie
live golf
too.
ones real quick.
Stevie
How do you
too.
spell?
Where's that at?
How do you spell Brooks?
Brooks Koepka?
Carlos is trying to cut us off.
No, how do you
man.
spell? We just jumped to the end. How do you
Yeah.
spell Brooks Koepka?
BROOKSKEP.
Pretty close. Pretty close.
K-O-E-K-O.
How many career swings and misses off the tee?
Oh God, lots, hundreds.
If the unwritten rules of golf were enforced, how many times would you have ended up with your pants around your ankles for failing to drive it past the women's
Every
tee?
time I played.
You know, if you change your name to Caitlin, you can just start at the women's tee box.
That's right.
Is the women's tee box the best evidence of gender inequality and athletic ability?
Yes, it is.
Would you rather be stuck in an elevator with Kamala Harris or stranded at sea with Michael Banas?
Bananas.
Oh my God, Bennis.
We know you prefer Harden to Busby, right?
Yes.
Has the mountain of masseuse lawsuits changed Deshaun Watson, or is he pounding the DMs like never before?
He's pounding them, and I predicted a 6-game suspension.
How many massages do you estimate he's run through since he got Me Too'd?
Really, me 40.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, by the way,
Hey, thank you.
40
the
more.
official
Thank you.
masseuse
Thank you.
convention of 2022 is occurring in Cleveland, Ohio, which explains why he wanted to go to
That's
Cleveland
why
so
he's
bad.
right there. He'll
Right?
be.
The case is
All
solved.
right. Thank you. We'll see you next week on the episode of The Legal Fix. Sorry we went over. Howdy.
Thanks,
We're out of
Carlos.
here. Thank you, Carl.